BGMC. The biblical truth lives here.
We are living in a time like no other in history, but fortunately for us, God wrote it all down in His prophecies. Find out what prophecies happened this week ripped straight from the headlines. Stay tuned for the Prophecy Headlines News Show on the Remnant's Call.
Now, let's get ready for the news. There's some incredible stories this week.
Y vamos a estar preparándonos para las noticias.
The Remnant's Call, End Time Prophecy News. All right, let's see the prophecy news.
Vamos a ver las noticias proféticas.
All right, our first news story comes from Israel.
La primera historia viene desde Israel.
What a difference a few months makes.
La diferencia de un par de meses.
The chief of the UN said,
El encargado, el cabeza de las Naciones Unidas ha dicho,
says the Temple Mount was the home to the Jewish temple.
ha dicho que el monte del templo es la casa de los judíos.
He says it's completely clear that the temple that the Romans destroyed in Jerusalem was the Jewish temple. ¡Wow!
Él ha dicho que está totalmente claro que el templo que han destruido los romanos fue el templo de los judíos.
So the Palestinians are wanting an apology
Entonces, los palestinos quieren una disculpa,
because they think it's theirs.
porque los palestinos
Wrong.
piensan que es de ellos.
Next news story. Take a look at that picture.
La próxima historia, miren esta fotografía muy bien.
That's a building and multiple buildings underwater.
Estos son unos edificios que están debajo del agua.
They found the lost city of Atlantis,
Han encontrado la ciudad perdida de Atlantis
and it's tied to the Jewish temple.
y se ha atado al templo judío.
Okay? And they found artifacts about the first temple inside Atlantis.
Han encontrado unos artefactos debajo del agua que relatan el primer templo.
Okay? It was a documentary on actually National Geographic Channel.
Hay ese documental ha sido provisto por National Geographic Channel.
I mean, look at that. Look at the buildings still there.
Dije, wow, mira, los edificios aún están en pie.
Oscar must have built that.
Quizás fue Oscar que hizo eso.
It's on the National Geographic Channel.
Where is this geographically on the map?
It's in the rest of the article I'll send you. It's off of Tarshish. Yeah, what Gabriel was asking, where is it geographically? It's off of Tarshish.
Dicen que la pregunta fue que dónde está
the
localizado
Mediterranean.
esto a nivel del mapa y está cerca de Tarsis.
I mean, the picture is just the guy who found the Titanic found Atlantis.
What is it?
The guy who found the Titanic found Atlantis.
El sujeto que encontró el Titanic también encontró Atlantis.
Now the next story is even more fascinating.
Y esta historia, la próxima historia es aún más fascinante.
There you see the new temple half shekel.
Y aquí puedes ver en esta fotografía,
That's the half shekel that everybody's got to pay.
ahí está en esa fotografía la mitad de un shekel.
Every Jew's got to pay to be part of Israel.
Y cada judío debe de pagar esta moneda al templo
It's about $4 in silver.
para ser parte de Israel.
I'm going to try to get some.
Es en plata. Voy a intentar.
I want one of
conseguir.
those.
Quiero una de esas monedas.
That's amazing. Look at that.
Es impresionante. Miren esa
For
fotografía.
2,000 years, we haven't had it.
Y por 2000 años no hemos tenido esta moneda.
Okay? Next news story.
Próxima historia.
Now, this is another fascinating news story.
Esa es otra noticia impresionante.
Before this week, Israeli politicians could not go pray on the Temple Mount.
Después de esta semana, antes de esa semana, los políticos no podían subir a orar en el monte del templo.
The government has now stopped that ban. Anybody can go pray on the Temple Mount.
Y el gobierno ha detenido esto y ahora todo el mundo puede subir y orar en el monte del templo.
Get ready, the party's about to begin.
Así que prepárense que la fiesta está a punto de comenzar.
Next news story.
Próxima historia.
There's Shabbat in Washington, D.C.
Es el Shabbat en Washington, D.C.
There you see America's two favorite Jews.
Ahí puedes ver a los dos judíos más favoritos de Estados Unidos.
I think it's fascinating how she dyes the roots of her hair black. Anyway, they were hosting a whole bunch of the cabinet members for Shabbat last night.
Ellos estuvieron invitando a muchos del gabinete a tener la cena de Shabbat en la noche anterior.
Can't be bad.
Eso no puede ser
Not
malo.
right now.
Ahora mismo no.
Next news story. Israel is preparing for war.
Israel se está preparando para la guerra.
Hezbollah has now rearmed themselves with over 120,000 rockets.
Hezbollah se ha estado preparando con unos 120,000 misiles o rockets.
Okay, so Israel is getting ready for a massive war.
Así que Israel se ha estado preparando también para mucha guerra.
Now let's go now to the end time anti-Semitism stories.
Las noticias de antisemitismo de esta semana son estas.
It is very bad for a Jew to live in England now.
Es muy grave, muy mal para judíos vivir en Inglaterra ahora mismo.
This past year they had over 1,300 anti-Semitic assaults.
En el año que ha pasado, ya los judíos han tenido unos 1,309 asaltos.
A 36% increase last year.
Y ha crecido el antisemitismo unos 36% el año pasado.
Next news stories. Now we're going to go to the end time prophecy news.
Noticias arrancadas de los encabezados.
In the Bible,
En la Biblia
we don't have any vegetable offerings.
no tenemos ofrendas
Well,
vegetales.
They're fruit offerings.
Sí hay ofrendas de
Sukkot.
frutas para frutas.
But God has heard my prayers.
Pero el Señor ha escuchado mi oración.
God has heard my
El
prayers,
Señor escuchó mi oración
but He sent it to Europe.
y la envió a Europa.
There's no more broccoli or spinach in Europe.
No hay más, no hay más brócoli ni espinacas en
It's time to
Europa.
move to England.
Es tiempo de irnos a
It's
Inglaterra.
time to move to France. There's no more broccoli. Darn.
Ya no hay más brócoli allá.
There you see a disgusting Diablo picture. That's broccoli and spinach. Ew. Ew. It's just ew. But now they're out of it in Europe. Hey, you can have ours.
Si quieres puedes tener nuestros vegetales.
All right, let's get to the real news.
Vamos a las
There's some
noticias.
fascinating stories. Pay attention. The truth must be told. Psalm 25, verse 10.
La verdad tiene que ser hablada en Salmos 25:10.
The Lord's word is truth.
La palabra del Señor es la verdad.
In our first news story,
Y la primera historia es esta.
President Trump has said, I will destroy the Johnson Amendment.
Y el presidente Trump ha dicho y ha prometido que va a destruir la encomienda de Johnson.
What is the Johnson Amendment?
Enmienda de Johnson. ¿Qué es esto?
The Johnson Amendment is
La enmienda de Johnson es esta.
that if I talk about politics from the pulpit,
Que si yo hablo de política desde el púlpito,
I could go to jail
yo puedo ir a la cárcel
or lose our tax exempt status.
o perder mi estatus.
President Donald Trump is going to get rid of that.
Y el presidente Trump se va a
Amén.
deshacer de esto. Amén.
How do you think America was formed? How do you think America was formed?
¿Y cómo crees que Estados Unidos fue
The
fundado?
revolution started in the pulpit.
La revolución realmente comenzó desde el púlpito.
Next news story, blessings.
Bendiciones.
Genesis 12:3 talks about blessings for those that stand with Israel.
Génesis 12:3 habla de bendiciones para aquellos que apoyan a Israel.
Well, the country of Texas, I mean the state of Texas,
El estado el país que diga el estado de Texas
has made it illegal to have BDS.
ha hecho ilegal el BGS,
To
BDS,
divest from Israel.
para
Made it illegal.
para boicotear a Israel.
All right, next news story.
Próxima historia.
Tickle my ears in 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 3.
Cosquillas en los oídos. Segundo Timoteo 4:3.
It talks about people will not have patience for sound doctrine.
Donde dice que las personas no va a tener pasión por las sanas doctrinas.
Now, what is sound doctrine?
Entonces, ¿qué es sana
This
doctrina?
Catholic nun doesn't have it.
Esta monja católica no tiene.
She was telling everybody that Miriam, Yeshua's mother, was not a virgin.
Ella está diciendo a todo el mundo, esta monja, que la madre de Yeshua, Miriam, no fue virgen.
That they were a normal Jewish couple.
Que Joseph y Miriam eran una pareja normal.
That was after Yeshua was born.
Eso fue después que Yeshua nació.
But before Yeshua was born, they didn't have relationships.
Pero antes de que Yeshua naciera no tuvieron relaciones.
So she's telling everybody, hey. Next news story. The Church of England has to affirm Orthodox marriage.
La iglesia de Inglaterra está afirmando el matrimonio ortodoxo.
God only recognizes
El Señor solamente
marriage between one man and one woman.
el Señor solamente apoya el matrimonio entre un hombre y una
And what
mujer.
is the difference between a man and a woman?
Y la diferencia entre un hombre y una mujer
A woman has ovaries.
es que la mujer tiene ovarios.
Men could never have ovaries.
El hombre nunca va a tener ovarios.
Okay, God puts life inside of women, and what an honor that is.
El Señor puso vida dentro del vientre de la mujer y eso es un honor.
But the LGBT community didn't like that.
Pero la comunidad LGBT no le gustó esto.
Well, sorry, read your Bible.
Así que disculpa, pero lee tu Biblia.
God is a man.
El Señor es un hombre.
Next story. Hated, John 17, verse 14.
El odio en Juan 17:14.
You're going to be hated for following the Lord's word.
Vas a ser odiado por seguir la palabra de Dios.
In this news story,
Y en esa noticia,
President Trump was on CBN.
el presidente Trump estuvo en CBN.
And he was talking about how it was impossible for Christians from Syria to come to America over the last 8 years.
Y él estuvo hablando cómo era tan imposible de cristianos venir de Siria en los últimos 8 años.
If you were a Muslim, he said, you could come to America.
Dice que si tú hubieses sido musulmán, sí podías entrar a Estados Unidos.
But President Obama was stopping all the Christians from coming to America.
Pero el presidente Obama estuvo deteniendo a todos los cristianos a venir aquí a América.
President Trump says, I'm going to protect the Christians.
El presidente Trump dice
Amen.
que va a proteger
Let's
a los
give President
cristianos.
Trump a hand.
Amén.
A lot different than the guy that we've had for the last 8 years,
Muy diferente de la persona que estuvimos aquí por los últimos
who was
8
not
años,
my president.
que no fue mi presidente.
So I had to go drinking more coffee. Café con leche, por favor. Dos. Next news story. A Florida couple was told to remove the cross from their front yard.
A una pareja de Florida se le pidió que removiera la cruz de su parte frontal de la casa.
Because somebody found the cross to be offensive.
Porque una persona sintió que la cruz era ofensiva.
I find pagans to be offensive.
Yo encuentro que el pagano es ofensivo.
The cross is what my Messiah hung on, and that's ours, and we're not removing it.
La cruz fue donde mi Mesías fue colgado y es nuestra, no lo vamos a quitar.
Next news story.
Próxima historia.
In Washington State, it is illegal for a coach to pray with his football players.
En el estado de Washington es ilegal para un entrenador orar antes de hacer oración antes del juego.
So some Republican senators have introduced a bill so that they can pray with their students once again.
Así que van a poner una ley donde el entrenador pueda orar con sus atletas y pueda volver eso de nuevo.
Next news story. Good will be called evil, and evil will be called good in Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20.
En Isaías 5:20 lo bueno iba a ser llamado malo y lo malo bueno.
In its news story,
En esta historia,
Governor Cuomo
el gobernador Cuomo,
wants to put into the New York State Constitution,
él quiere poner una ley en la Constitución de
Just-
Nueva York,
just in case Roe versus Wade is overturned,
por si acaso se bloquea o viene de nuevo la ley.
he wants to put a woman's right to murder her child in the Constitution of New York State.
Él quiere poner la ley de que una mujer pueda matar al niño o abortar quiere regresar esta ley a la
The
Constitución de Nueva
nation,
York.
the fight for the soul of this nation is happening, everybody.
La lucha de las almas está ocurriendo en esta nación.
Conversely, Governor Abbott of Texas,
Y
conversely,
es todo lo contrario, que el gobernador de Texas
is introducing a bill
está introduciendo una
to make
ley
abortion illegal in Texas.
que quiere hacer ilegal hacer un aborto en Texas.
Next news story. This is the hatred of God on YouTube. We're just very blessed that they haven't shut us down.
Esta es la bendición de Dios que no han tumbado del YouTube aún.
The sermon channel was taken off the air by YouTube for deceptive practices.
Pero hubo unos canales que han sido quitados por hacer prácticas deceptivas.
There is another station called GodTube. There is another channel called GodTube.
Hay otro canal se llama GodTube,
We should start promoting them.
que deberíamos de promocionar.
So YouTube can be YouTube and we'll have good stuff on another side.
Así que tú puedes hacer tu YouTube y nosotros tendremos otras buenas cosas de Dios.
Going on to the next story, the Sodomites, Romans 1, verse 24.
En otra historia, los sodomitas, Romanos 1:24.
What's the news story?
Y
The Boy Scouts have gone gay.
La historia es esta, que los Boy Scouts se han declarado gay.
They're now allowing transgender, everything into the Boy Scouts.
Ahora han aceptado todo, transexuales, de todo en los Boy Scouts.
There's a reason the Boy Scouts were formed.
Hay una razón por la cual los Boy Scouts se levantaron.
It is to teach young boys men skills.
Es para enseñarle a los niños habilidades de hombres.
And to learn how to go camping.
Y para aprender a acampar.
You go camp, a teenage boy goes camping with a teenage girl.
Cuando los niños acampan con niñas,
What do you think is going to happen 9 months later?
¿qué crees que va a suceder 9 meses después?
If she doesn't get an abortion,
Si ella no tiene un aborto,
because it's, that's what they're pushing in school, have sex.
es lo que están empujando en las escuelas, tener relaciones sexuales.
So there is a new organization that started about 4 years ago from former Boy Scouts.
Así que hay una nueva organización que ha comenzado unos 4 años atrás.
It is called Trail Life USA.
Se llama Trust Light USA.
And it is Boy Scouts without the homosexuality.
Y ellos están haciendo el mismo trabajo del Boy Scout sin la homosexualidad.
If we can get a volunteer, we might start one here.
Si tuviéramos un voluntario, podremos comenzar algo aquí.
Because they're chartering groups. And they're a very good organization.
Porque son una buena organización.
Going on to the next news story. The dogs, the snakes, animals, Islam.
En las nuevas historias, los perros, serpientes, animales del Islam.
President Trump has stopped. It is not an immigration ban.
El presidente Trump no es una prohibición de inmigración.
Let's call it what it is. It's a Muslim ban, and this is a good thing.
Y vamos a llamarle lo que es una prohibición del Islam. Y
And why do I say that?
¿Y por qué digo esto?
Let's go to the numbers.
Vamos a ver los números.
The first numbers we're going to talk about,
El primer número del que vamos a
I
ver.
would like you to look at the numbers on the left-hand side.
Quisiera que veas los números en la parte izquierda.
Since 9/11,
Desde el 9/11
there have been 28,822 terrorist attacks done by Muslims.
ha habido unos 28.822 ataques musulmanes.
28,000, almost 29,000.
Unos 28.000, casi 29.000 ataques terroristas.
In June of 2016,
En junio del 2016, en junio del 16,
there were 238 attacks worldwide.
hubo unos 238 ataques a nivel mundial.
2,055 people were murdered,
Unos 2.055 personas fueron asesinadas
and 2,006 were injured.
y unas 2.006 personas fueron heridas.
And this happened in 33 different countries.
Y esto sucedió en 33 países distintos.
So it is good that the president has stopped them from coming.
Así que es algo bueno que el presidente haya haciendo detención de los islámicos musulmanes de venir.
And there are 16 nations that stopped Jews from going into their countries.
Y hay 16 países que ya han detenido a judíos de que entren a sus países.
There are 16 Muslim countries
Hay unos 16 países musulmanes
that stop Jews from coming into their countries.
que han detenido a los judíos que entren a sus países.
Next news story, and here's 2 Muslim attacks that happened yesterday.
Y aquí hay 2 ataques musulmanes que fueron hechos el día de ayer.
In Denver, a Muslim killed a transit officer.
Y en Denver, un musulmán estuvo matando a un transeúnte.
Now, this is the religion of peace.
Es una religión de paz.
And I got a bridge to sell you if you believe that.
Eres un idiota si crees esto.
Yesterday in France,
El día de ayer en
at
Francia,
Le Louvre,
en la Louvre,
at the museum, a Muslim attacks French soldiers.
un musulmán en el museo atacó a soldados franceses.
This is a religion of peace?
¿Y esa es una religión de paz?
No, it is not.
No lo es.
Going on to the next story. But Starbucks wants to hire them all.
Pero Starbucks lo quiere darle trabajos a todos.
Go ahead. I think it's going to work out for you.
Así que, ok, hazlo, creo que funcionará para ti.
All right? Yeah, Starbucks has a little bit better coffee, but I guess I'll be going to Dunkin' Donuts.
Y sí, Starbucks tiene un café bueno, pero realmente voy con Dunkin'
They
Donuts.
want to hire 10,000 refugees.
Ellos quieren emplear a 10,000 refugiados.
No, he's a German. When you see a Z in German, it's a German name. Yeah. He's not a Jew. He's a German. So they're going to hire 10,000 refugees. You think they're going to work?
Y ellos quieren emplear unos 10,000 refugiados. ¿Crees que van a trabajar?
That's not happening. All right, that's enough news for today. There's a lot more stories. Everybody?
Ya hay mucho más historias.
If you want the rest of the news stories,
Si quieres el resto de las historias,
send an email to info@bethgoim.org.
por favor envía una información, un correo a info.
And if you're on the internet, hit the daggone donate button. Shalom. My name is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman, and I invite you to come to visit our congregation. If you are in the tri-state area, come out and visit with us on Shabbat. We are a congregation of Jews and Gentiles, living as one in the Messiah Yeshua. BGMC is a place of true worship. The focus never wanders from the Hebraic roots of our faith. Beth Goyim is rooted in the Word of God from Bereshit through to the book of Revelation. Messiah's strong words against man-made tradition are carefully recorded in Matthew 7. That is the reason we only follow the straight-up instructions found in Scripture. Truly, the way, the truth, and the life. If you're looking for a deeper walk with Adonai, come out for our Tuesday evening Bible study called Messianic Torah Time. Come, spend a day with us on any Shabbat. We start at 11 a.m. with the sound of the ancient Hebrew shofar. Next, we offer our King praise and worship in English, Hebrew, and Spanish. After worship, we review the headlines in the previous week's news from around the globe, especially news from the Holy Land, Israel. We don't just list the news headlines as current events, but we comb through the scriptures, searching for clues to understand what they mean and then to help pinpoint prophetically our current position on Adonai's clock. After digesting all that modern information, we leave the world behind as we journey with our Adonai deep into his eternal word, not with just 1 or 2 scriptures, but usually 7 or more scriptures. The spiritual nourishment and the richness of his kingdom become accessible to the ones who share this special time and seek them out. The day does not end there. Because Shabbat is so special to him, there is always so much more that our King desires to share. So instead of separating and leaving, we stay together as a family for potluck lunch and an afternoon study of our King's Word. We close the Shabbat together with the reading of the new week's parashah. That's the Torah portion. Even after those blessings, many of us just can't get enough. So the members bring prepared homemade foods to share while we all enjoy an uplifting movie together. If all that information is not quite enough, you can check out our website where you will find over 200 video teachings and biblical holy day studies. Under Messianic Torah Time, the Hebrew Roots button, you'll discover free studies on many different topics, including PowerPoint slide presentations. If Beth Goyim sounds like a place you'd love to visit, but you live outside the tri-state area, there is still a way to connect with us. We stream live on the internet on Tuesday, Thursday, and Shabbat. The website is www.bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. Our phone number is 973-338-7800 or 978-2-YESHUA. That's 978, the number 2, Yeshua. Shalom.